Today I'm going to show you how to create 3D animated videos in the style of Zack films using AI tools. But before we start, let's get something straight. This is not one of those videos where someone rips a Zack video, throws in an AI avatar with some dumb commentary and pretends it's original content just to trick TikTok algorithm. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm actually trying to make something inspired by Zack's animation style, 3D visuals, strange topics, and a bit disturbing visuals, but fully made with AI. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Here's a short video I created.
In parts of Southeast Asia, a species known as the tear-drinking moth lands on sleeping humans and inserts its proboscis into the eye socket. It gently sips tears, rich in salt and protein. You won't wake up, you won't feel it, but the moth will remember you.
Now let's break it down, step by step, so you can build something similar yourself. So, first things first, we need a script. This is a super important step. But I know you're not here for a generic prompt engineering tips, so I won't waste your time and show you how I made this particular script. I started by picking an inspiration video. I really liked Zack video about ants. I figured that insect-related stories, especially the creepy ones that involve humans, could be a great niche. So I asked GPT to give me a list of strange insect facts that involve human interaction. Then I gave it the ant video script and told it to write something in a similar tone and structure. I ended up loving the moth idea, I tweaked the script a bit, and that became the version you saw earlier. Now, the most important part, the storyboard images. This is basically the foundation of your entire video. These are the frames you'll later turn into the actual video. When you're creating a storyboard, your main challenge is figuring out how to explain to the AI what style you're going for. One way to do that, if you have a reference, is to let the AI describe it for you. Since my reference was Zack films, I grabbed a few screenshots from one of his videos, uploaded them into GPT, and asked it, how would you describe this animation style? Here's the breakdown I got from it. Feel free to pause the video and read through it carefully. Next, you need to create at least one image that perfectly fits the style you're going for. I tried a bunch of different image models in OpenArt to generate frames, but honestly, none of them really matched the vision I had in mind. Then I tried something different. I stayed inside the same GPT chat where I had already explained the style and asked it to generate an image based on everything we'd discussed. And it nailed it. After that, I stuck with GPT for the rest of the storyboard. And honestly, it made things way easier because it already knew what I wanted. If you use a separate tool, you'll usually have to add your reference images every time to maintain style. But when you're working inside one GPT thread, it remembers everything, which helps a ton with consistency. So basically, at this point, GPT kind of becomes your creative partner. Here's what my process looked like. First, I got the initial image I liked and asked GPT to generate the same scene in 9:16 aspect ratio. Then I asked it to generate the same person again, but this time without a moth. After that, I wanted a wide opening shot. So I asked for a zoomed out version of the scene. Then I needed a close-up of the moth. And after that, the same shot, but with a visible tear just to make the action clearer. And finally, I asked for a back view of the moth flying away to wrap up the story. Later on, I decided to add a different kind of opening shot, a clean infographic style map with Southeast Asia highlighted. Since I knew I wanted to animate it later, I immediately asked GPT to create a second version of that map, but without the colored region. And just like that, I had my full storyboard, completely built inside one chat. Now it's time to animate it. Usually my go-to AI video tool is Kling. It delivers really solid results and the pricing is pretty reasonable. By the way, if you're thinking about trying Kling, there's a promo code in the description that gives you 50% bonus credits for your first month. So I started with the opening shot, the map scene. But I ran into a weird issue. When I uploaded the image of Asia, Kling rejected it due to content violations. I'm guessing it's because Kling is a Chinese model and the map included geographic regions that might be considered sensitive. Totally unexpected, but it blocked me from generating that scene. Luckily, I also had access to Sora by OpenAI, so I used that to generate the first shot. To be honest, Sora wasn't great for this use case. It took me about 10 tries to get a version I could actually use. And even then I still had to manually edit it. For the rest of the shots, I switched back to Kling. The best workflow I found was using the first and last frame feature. That gave me the best control over how the animation moved. Here are the results I got. For the voiceover, I used 11 Labs, and for the background music, Suno AI. Now the final step, post-production. For a short video like this, it's actually pretty simple. Just put scenes together, cut them a bit and add some creative touches. For example, I reversed the shot of the moth drinking a tear and added captions to the final scene. I used CapCut for editing, by the way. And don't forget, you don't need to copy someone's style to get similar results. You can be inspired by someone, but still build something original. If there's a creator you admire, you can just break down the components of what makes their style work and make those elements unique to your own vision. For example, if we're talking about Zack films, here's how I'd break it down. Interesting niche. Weird, memorable fun facts. His thing, anatomically detailed visuals, sometimes a bit disgusting. His style, clean 3D animation, and from that you can create something similar, but still totally yours. Maybe you focus on the same type of facts, but narrow down like I did with insect stories. Or maybe you switch the whole tone. Instead of detailed and disgusting, your thing could be extreme cuteness or surreal visuals or something totally unexpected. You get the idea. That's all for today's video. If you want to be part of a growing community of AI creators, make sure to subscribe. On this channel, I share creative AI workflows, ideas, and tools to help you build your own content with originality. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.